play, even though it's on my screen, we're gonna bounce back and forth, and each of us individually are gonna be making decisions. So let's start with the introduction order. So Sonny, up to you. It's your call, dude. What are we doing first?
Okay. Now I usually play tactically, so I want to look at the contracts on the map right now.
Okay.
Now, let's look at some of the tier 1s, I reckon. So the white ones, right? I want to see what kind of skills that we need. With a clenched fist or a clear head. Okay. Do we have any else?
Oh, I love the juxtaposition as well there of a clenched fist, but also a clear head. So he's coming in angry, but he's very calm about it.
Silver tongue or an iron fist. Okay, I think it's already obvious that we need some strength.
So hire an agent?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
What do we have? Should I select or do anybody else? Okay.
So wait a minute, really quick. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 agents, and these are all tier 1 agents. And if we refresh this, it's getting from all the tier 1 agents. So it very well could be that you're going to be getting some of the ones you already have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
There is obviously plenty more of each tier agent to add, I believe. We've only put a handful of each tier in for now, just for testing purposes. So there will be more variety.
So who do you want, Sonny?
Erica's looking pretty strong. She's got 12 stamina points. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's interesting to me that you called her Erica and not Raven.
Listen, we gotta be formal. We're formal.
Be formal.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Damien, I love the fact that you put in the new font.
Yeah.
It changes everything completely. I also like the fact that we got rid of the neon pink background on selection. It was a bit too much for my taste.
Yes. My objective is to put some 80s element in the UI, and I really love this font. But yes, too much pink is not good. So I chose to remove the pink background to put the font.
Okay. So we're going to choose Raven. I'm sorry, Erica? You're choosing Erica?
Erica, yes. Okay. She's expensive, but I think we're going to take that hit.
All right, you still have $110. Are you going to save that money for gear, or are you going to hire another agent?
I would say another agent. Can we afford?
Yeah, you got one
Jan.
Janet. Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Now, the problem is, once I press yes and then exit, it's going to be a race for time because we don't have the pause button implemented. So I'm going to have to, it very well could be that we don't manage to get both of these tier 1 contracts. I'll do my best though. Okay.
You're going to go for it. Yeah. You got this.
It's like an inadvertent Iron Man mode, isn't it?
Yeah. So, exquisite jewelers.
Iron fist.
So, who do you want for this one? So, silver tongue or an iron fist?
I think they've both got 3 strength, right?
Yeah.
Silver tongue. Okay, I think just Raven, go for it.
Okay. Oh, I need to hurry up and find.
Going to need some skill.
Okay. Then we're sending. So, is this something that you've been noticing, Tom, when you've been playing? Are you actually looking at the action point, the amount?
Yeah, it has changed. I mean, I'll be honest. Obviously, you guys know I took a break last week, so I wasn't here. So I've only had maybe 2 hours of play with this new system. It feels very much like I've had to go back to basics and start learning the game over again, which is quite a big thing to say as a guy who's played it this much. But no, it massively changes the planification and the way you move around the map. Especially if you need to go get an item before you hit a contract, for example. Yeah, all this now takes planning. You've got to plan out the whole day, not just contract by contract. It's a lot more fun.
Is that accurate though? 10 miles? I mean, a mile is pretty long.
That's 1.0. Yep.
Aha! I did not see that point. Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna start the.
Maybe we need to increase the size of the font.
All right. So this is back with the double click on the agent for the focus. I love it. And I actually do like the
Yes.
zoom in and out. It's cheesy, but
The camera movement is interesting. Maybe a bit too much. I think we need to adjust that, but that's a good effect.
so Agent Draven observes the shop clientele and monitors the comings and goings. Near the end of the day, the cashier notices a valuable necklace is missing from its display stand on the counter. There are two, really quick. Do you think it makes sense that we can, with a tab maybe, we can go back to the intro to refresh our memory of what contract this is? Because if we want people to actually read this stuff, they need to have some context. And if you're having 10 agents and you're sending them to 10 various contracts, and perhaps 3 of those contracts, or even 13 contracts, because maybe 3 of them you looked at and you decided not to do. And so it very well could be that you're at a point where you are going to get confused. Is it important to be able to go back and learn that information?
Important, no, but nice to have. For example, you know the little informational button we had on the old agent cards? Could that not be, like in the top corner or something like that? Just so if they do want to see the previous block of text, they can. I don't know. Easy enough to
What do you
for me,
think?
or Damien, what do you think?
I think that would make sense.
Because I can see your
I
point.
think
We want them to care.
Yeah.
We want them to care, but what we're ostensibly saying at the moment is once you've made your choice, it doesn't matter. Do you see what I mean? And what just I can see what you're saying.
Personally, when I play, I always remember where I send my agent.
When you have 10 agents, though?
I don't play with 10 agents. For me, every playing session, 3 is enough. So I think that depends how you play. So yeah.
Yeah,
We
I'm a 5 guy. I'm a 5 guys guy.
So there are there are only 2 customers left in the shop. The one looks more at home in the company of an expensive necklace than the other. So confront the poor woman. So I think this is Sunny's choice here, but we're kind of like negating your choice because we've already chosen an agent with strength, right?
Yeah.
But you are forgetting Sunny hates the elderly. So that might factor in. And that's being recorded, Sunny, so I'd be really careful.
Oh, I can't say anything. I can't say anything. Let's go Dapper Man, yeah.
Okay. So you got 88% chance.
If this fails, I'm leaving.
I hate to say it, but like essentially speaking, our numbers are a bit weird. Like it's always like either 0%, 13%, 50%, 69%, or 88%. And 88, as you all know, that's kind of like not a very politically correct number.
Do you know what? I hadn't actually made that association. I know what you're talking about, but I'm curious if Sunny and Damien have a clue what you're on about. Damien,
Do you know the significance of 88?
8 is the 8th letter in the alphabet, which is H, Heil Hitler. It's a code that neo-Nazis use. 88 stamped on their neck and things like that is like Heil Hitler. It's neo-Nazi, like, what, yeah. And
I had no idea.
The narrative has Nazis. I don't know. I think you'd have to be doing some logical gymnastics to be like, it's 88%, it's all related.
Of course, the 69%, which comes up quite often. Wait, is it a...
It's honestly, it's because they're tier 1 contracts where we're dealing with low amounts of skills or proportionally high amounts of skills, like 3. So you get 3 dice off the bat, and this is one of the ones where you only need 1 success. There are obviously other contracts where you need twice, which instantly makes this much more challenging. But basically, you've been teed up a nice easy one. It could have gone worse. The game has been kind.
I will roll in a second, but one thing that I know this is a temporary thing that you've added with the greater than or equal to 4, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is an interesting way of doing it because I don't know, is it different in the UK? Because the greater than or equal to sign in America, it's like that with a line, one line underneath it.
Oh yeah, but that's not a character on the keyboard that you can press. Is it? Do you guys have that?
No, I think
Okay,
what I did was on the mirror board. I actually went to I wrote in Google. I typed in greater than or equal symbol, and then I copied that and put it in the mural board.
Oh, I see.
That's how I did it.
It's Alt 2265 is the Unicode for it in ASCII.
Okay.
Alt 225.
2265.
But how would you like to visualize that, Damien?
Sorry, what?
The greater than or equal to 4 on the 3 dice. How would you like to visualize that?
I don't know. I don't understand what that means.
That's showing. Sorry.
This means basically for these 3 dice, you need to roll a 4 or greater, right? And what Sonny has done is he's put this in here just as an extra precaution for people. You know, obviously it says down here what you need, 4, 5, or 6. But the question is, you know, does it make more sense to have both? You know, just in case people don't.
No, for me, just the dice on the bottom of the panel is enough to understand which number you need to have to get success. So
I agree with you, except for the fact that we are talking about changing the dice mechanics and rules for games, depending on the contract type. And so that might make sense for future iterations. Like imagine if, you know, for a repossession contract, the rules are different. So a success would be defined as something else. And we can, of course, do it at the legend on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we changed it for each.
But just for my own edification, so let's say the player's adding a gear card, right? A higher tier card that's going to make one of those dies change so that it's so 3s are also successes. How would we then display that to the player? Would we have another die then appear at the bottom, showing that 3s are now successes in that cluster there?
We'd have to change this. Yeah.
But so we'd have to make this bit here that says equals success dynamic, right? So that it updates based on the.
This isn't dynamic right now. It's just an image, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The legend is an image.
Yeah.
It's not a single image, but it's somewhat fixed.
Okay.
Could it be made dynamic easy enough, Sonny?
Somewhat, yeah. I reckon so.
Because I'm trying to think, there's not many circumstances that would change it other than the exact one we've said, which is when you change the main winning rules, like adding 3s or such like that.
Right.
Yes, but our game is inspired by the board game, and when you play a board game, you remember the rules, and I think this is just for your memory, but you know what you need to do to have the success. And in the case for the gear, I think it's enough to just display the effect of the dice directly on the card. And when you play the card, you maybe we can have a different color for the gear dice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Gear die, so you know that this is a different value to get the success.
True.
That can be a point. I don't like to have too much information everywhere changing. I think that can be confusing for the player.
Okay.
Just maybe in the tutorial panel we can have explaining the different rule for each type of contract. I think it's enough. We will not have a lot of type of contracts, and there is this dice on the bottom.
Yeah.
To explain the base, and then gear is sometimes different than the base. So you explain that on the card, it's enough. I think it's enough.
All right, Sonny, I'm gonna roll now. Okay.
Come on, Raven, make me proud. Okay.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
I was about to walk away. Right. Okay.
Okay, cool. So the suspected thief seems to be adopting classic Queensberry rules as he feints left and right before launching a volley of fists. But Agent Draven knows how to counter such rigid technique. Before he knows it, the man is on the floor staring at the ceiling, with the old woman rushing to his side. He has a necklace, and she's carrying 3 stolen earrings. The client looks at Draven like they knocked out Sugar Ray Leonard.
How much we
I like that. Like she's got this sneer too, like the David Bowie sneer. Cool.
To my shame, I've only just figured out that she's called Raven because her surname is Draven. I hadn't put that together.
Oh, Oh, really quick though. When we finish contracts, there's always the check mark, right? And for me, it's kind of like a disconnect because sometimes it's a check mark, be like, hey, you need to click here before you can send this agent on another quest, another contract, because you can't send them on another contract unless you do the resolution.
Oh,
But then once you click on it and you get the resolution, that check mark should leave, in theory. They're just to show that they're waiting around.
I think we need a couple more icons, don't we? Really? There's a couple.
I don't want to overdo it. I think check mark should be, hey, we're done. You need to click here if you want to get the resolution, right? And that's actually the only case you'd actually have to click on it is if there's a no decision, actually. Because you're already in it. You know, you've already clicked on the person, and you'll get, once you do the roll, you automatically go to the resolution, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the check mark, for me, it's a bit of a disconnect because the check mark, if you have a no decision, it's still the same color. It's still like, hey, it looks like, you know, a positive thing. We've checked this thing off. So maybe that we should think about a negative check mark, you know, or an X'd out. Like you failed it.
It's the same thing, but the check mark is green. Just make it a red check.
There you go. All right, so the Sausage Festival is in full swing, and Agent Johnson is stationed at the raffle desk overlooking the strong box. The polka music is pumping and the crowd is seething to the Bohemian 2/4 beat. A scuffle breaks out at the beer tent, with 3 burly, inebriated revelers making a scene. It's probably just a tradition of the festival, or maybe a diversion. So, Sonny,
Okay.
are you going to guard the prize?
Guard the
Stay where
prize.
you are and guard the raffle prize, or scope out the fight?
Prize. We're keeping that safe.
So you're making your decision solely based on the fact that your agent has 3.
Yeah,
On strength.
that's what she's chosen for.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, don't forget. Wait, how do we do it now with the new updates? Is tier 2 one of the options? Is it 2 success and 1 is a 1 success?
That's tier 1. So this is what I was going to say. This is actually an interesting thing. So in theory, if he wanted to scope out the fight, he could, but that was empathy, right? Can you just mouse over it?
Yeah.
But the problem is, he's only got an empathy of 1. So if it's 1 success, there's still 50. He could still be fine. But if it's 2 success, then it's going to therefore cost him because he's going to have to burn an action point if he wants to even stand a chance. So he now has an interesting choice.
No.
So really quick.
No.
Do you think that it behooves us to highlight, at this point, we've already made the decision, you've already selected the agent, you already know what skills are required, right? Would it behoove us to highlight the lower level one? So we're only highlighting 1. So in this case, let's just assume empathy is the 1, 1 success, and strength is the 2. Because I think this is what Damien mentioned, that like it's unfair that we've changed the rules. The rules aren't, before it was always like success 1 on both, but now one of them, it's a 50-50 crapshoot. You know, there is a bit of risk involved here because you don't know which one is which.
I would argue that is, for me, that's a part of it. Sonny looked at the contracts. He then chose his agent based on the contracts. If he can't remember that, that's kind of on him. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's chosen that. He chose strength agents after looking at the contract and seeing that they would be suited to a strength agent. He's planned around using strength. So if he then chooses to go another way and it backfires, that's fine. That's fine. But if he carries on with the strength plan, he'll smash it. Do you see
Yeah,
what
it
I mean?
would be a bit too hand-holdy.
Yeah, I think if it highlights it, then what's the point? You may as well skip the screen and just auto-resolve.
Well, it's highlighting one of them, the easier one.
Don't
but
get me
you're
wrong, you're right. Because anyone who's done what Sonny's done is going to go strength.
Exactly.
Of course you are. But at the same time, it's still a choice. Even if it's only an illusion of choice, it's still a choice. I think if we highlight it and go, click this one, dummy.
Well, no, but I think, but interestingly enough, because you're bringing an agent that has potentially 2 skills that could be called, it very well could be. They think, well, you know what? I am going to choose the other one now because maybe it's the lesser evil, or it's easier for me.
I would say it becomes a lot more of an interesting conversation with higher tier agents. When you've
True.
got these tier 1 agents where the stat points, they pretty much have one good thing and the rest are fairly mediocre. But when you get to the higher tier agents where they've then got multiple stats that are good and strong, then it becomes much more of an interesting choice and discussion. Do you get what I mean?
So, Sonny, I'm assuming, just like last time, 88% chance you're not going to use an action point. You wouldn't take that risk.
No.
Okay, but she only has
Because
4.
she's only got 4. Yeah, exactly.
Easy. Is it too easy though? That's the question.
No, I mean last time, only one of them succeeded, so we just cut it.
If either of these contracts you've just done were ×2 success, which bear in mind they're 50-50, he would have failed.
Yeah.
So this is what stresses me out because there is no pause. I just had to open up something just so the contracts don't auto repopulate.
It's 8:30 in the morning. You've got a cushion, dude. You're good.
I don't know, man. No, because don't forget how it's set up right now is that if you don't do those tier 2 and tier 3 contracts, they leave, and then we need to pay for new ones, right? And that's a huge thing. It's like they're for free right now, and so how you would usually play, and I think we're going to leave this one up to Damien to decide, is that now we have a little bit of money. What is the next logical step? Do you purchase gear specific to those 2 agents that you have, and then try to tackle tier 2 and 3 contracts? Because the tier 1s will auto-repopulate.
I am curious, just for my own edification, what would you do at this point, Damien? I know exactly what I would do.
I really like to take some risk. I always choose... when I start, I always hover the tier 3 contract. And I always fail at the beginning. Often, but not always. But yes, can you over the tier 3 contract?
Okay.
So for me at this point,
And
what I do is get strength item.
Find me one contract with strength that can be good.
Here, there you go. Really quick, is this easy to fix from the UI perspective? Because I have the feeling that the font size is increased, which I don't think we need. It's already highlighted, doesn't need to be increased. For the highlighted text, it's like 2 font points bigger. You notice that?
Yes, but I think that needs to be done in the G sheet, I think.
Yeah, there's a thing there. It's written somewhere. I know what he's talking about.
Mm.
There's a thing basically where that main O, the brackets bit that you put in the G sheet. There's a bit where we define that, and I think that has the font thing in it. If I'm not mistaken, I just don't know where it is. Bear with me.
Hey.
I think it might be the data table in the project file. Sorry.
So Debbie is the only reason why the Milky Club has been so popular as of late. She's got an amazing voice and she's a rising starlet, but her career is about to take a nosedive if action isn't taken. She's being blackmailed by a scandal magazine that is threatening to release revealing photos of Debbie. This will effectively ruin her career. She's worked so hard all these years, and it's a pity it's all come crashing down. Send over a tough agent or one with lightning reflexes to discuss the matter with the magazine editor. Hopefully you can find a solution to this situation.
Okay, cool. Keep cover girl on the side. I don't want to do this one now.
Okay.
There is another one.
Oh yeah.
Not too far from Raven.
Ooh, it's a good point.
I love that that's a consideration now as well.
Well, this is the closest one it looks like. Burglar buddies, snitches get stitches. That's what they say, right? Well, I did my time and now I'm out of the can. Do you know what the can is, Damien? You know what that means in English? Out of the can?
I did my time and now I'm out of the can. No, it's an English expression?
Yeah, jail. Yeah, he's out of jail. Yeah.
Okay.
And I want the real guilty party to pay for what they've done. The thing is, if I go to the police without evidence, they'll just throw the case out. Send over an agent that's gregarious or has good reflexes so I can get the evidence I need to prove my innocence and put the real guilty party behind bars. Do you know what gregarious means?
Yes.
Okay. It's probably the same in French.
Empathy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have a good enough agent for those tier 3 contracts, unfortunately.
Another one here. Stage mode.
There was a strength one, wasn't there?
No.
Yeah, there was. The first one we looked at, but it was too far away.
Cover girl was with
Yeah.
Fred?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice. Okay. Is cost.
Tough.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
I like
Cool.
it. I like it. Can I just point out? I like that because if it was highlighted orange, you couldn't have missed it. You could not have missed it. But you, Damien, are a reader, and you missed it. I'm not saying that to have a go, but do you see what I mean? It proves that the logic that is even people who read can miss these things, and that's what we wanted to achieve by removing the orange. So it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
I love this background image. It's so beautiful, isn't it?
It is a nice one.
Yeah.
Right.
Great work.
Okay.
Okay. So, is there a store not too far with some great items to increase the strength? I would like to buy 2 cards, if possible.
The gun store had a yearling for 55, which is strength.
See any strength here?
Yeah, there was one. First stop, gun shop.
Yeah. So here's so there's a
okay.
Oh, cool.
It's just it's just refreshed, and you've lucked out and got 3 strength items. What the- Right, just to clarify, this wasn't planned. It's not like when people do like a pack opening and then they all come out to be like diamond.
And they're super cheap, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you buy the first gun and the baton?
Yeah.
The stick.
So we're gonna send Raven. You want to send Raven?
Yes.
Okay. And then
So-
while we're waiting,
That
I was gonna
means
click
that I will have 5 dice. I know that tier 3 is 3 success. I will have also some action point to have an extra dice, so I think it's doable.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I like this risk. If I fail, I know that I will lose money, but it's good because next that will be the Tom's turn to play.
Okay. Well, no, but you still have Janet. What do you want to do with Jan while Raven is doing her thing?
She's not doing anything, by the way.
Yeah. Do you want to send her on a tier 3 contract as well? Do the same thing? You have $100 left.
No. I just want to play with Raven, tier 3 contract.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So we still need to wait 30 minutes, right?
No, it's already done.
No, it's good.
It's changed. For anyone who doesn't know, we used to have it so that they were waiting at the store for 30 minutes. I suppose the initial attempt was to make it so that, I suppose that's to counter browsing and that, make it cost something. But
So we're sending Raven.
annoying.
Yes.
Raven to do. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll start the contract.
And yes, in the meantime, if we can check if there is a tier 1 contract for Jen, just for secure money. But you see, we don't have really time to find something else.
There you go. That's tough or perceptive. Is she's tough
Okay,
and she's perceptive?
let's go.
Okay. You don't want to send her no gear because it's a tier 1 contract, right?
Oh, yes, no gear for tier 1. But boom, yes, decision.
Okay. Ah, the infamous dummy text.
Okay, I will choose dummy text.
Oh yeah, are you sure?
Yeah.
I hesitate. Maybe dummy text. Okay, yes. Use the card for dummy text. Strength. So yeah, of course.
Okay. You want a strength.
Yes, of course.
So 13%.
So yes. So the gun in one hand and the baton in the other hand, and
Yes, you can't do that, can you?
she
Joe,
will-
you can only use one gear item, can't you?
No, I think you can use both of them.
Yes, you can.
Well, or one at a time, but like use it and then go back into it.
Add another die.
You equipped one and you equip the second one, and then
I didn't know you can use 2 gear items.
so 5. I like the fact that the strength is highlighted in purple.
Yeah.
It shows the stat that's modified. I love it.
Actually, I just
I think that can be good to have some gear that affect some durability on some gear. So, for example, the guns that can be good to have. Okay, now she have the gun equipped, so she have 4 in straight during 3 contracts. That can be really cool.
So really quick, what percentage chance did we have before? It was a 13%. Okay. So we've increased to 50. Do you want to use action points as well?
After you can use it after. So I check, and if
Now we're rolling, right?
yeah.
Hate to see it.
Okay.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts.
50% odds, and it didn't even want to give him 1.
Oh, at first, when the first contract with Sonny, I was like, this is like way too easy. He's, then with Damien.
That happened. I think there is some dummy text. It's bad because I really want to know what's happening.
Yeah, I know. I'll write it.
Everything to succeed, and
Oh, and you're losing 1 reputation point here. Luckily, you're already at 0, so it doesn't matter. But
We're
okay.
also down to 0 funds.
ooh. Okay. You failed. Okay. So we're waiting for Janet.
Janet's on.
Janet will save us.
So Agent Johnson starts their security shift at the dog food plant. There's a lot of hustle and bustle during the shift change, and it's hard to maintain order among the crowd as your agent has to check each work ID. A wide-eyed man with fear or rage in his eyes and clutching his throat stumbles through the gate, circumventing your agent. How should they proceed? Tackle the man? Rules are rules. No one gets in without proper ID. Do we know what type of contract this is?
A moral decision.
Yeah. So you were fooled because you just read the intro text, and I totally lied to you when I wrote that out. I said, these are the stats you're going to be, using for this contract. Do you feel as if I've totally lied to you, Damien?
I should have known when it was called Weenie Security. That was the
Tackle.
giveaway.
Tackle the man.
Exactly. Okay. So, contract successful. Agent Johnson shoves their way through the crowd and tackles the wild-eyed man who starts convulsing. Apparently, he was frantically trying to get into the factory because he was choking on a hot dog. Your agent only made it worse after knocking what little air he had out of him in the tackle. A burly factory worker promptly brushes your agent aside, rams his hand down the poor man's throat, and dislodges the misplaced weenie. Looks back at your agent and simply slowly shakes his head. The plant manager, however, is thrilled that your agent took the initiative. So, in this case, you did the... is it the right thing or the wrong thing? You got money.
Yes, I just want the money. I lose too much with the Raven. So here, I just wanted to do the job to get the money.
I also like the visual of putting your entire hand down someone's throat, just grabbing out a little bit of hot dog. You didn't want to say, does the Heimlich maneuver. He just gets his hand and just right in there.
Cool. Wait, this looks odd.
Yes,
traits.
this screen will be removed.
That was the hover for traits, wasn't it? Yonks ago.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to click on something really quick. So, Tom, are you up now?
It says you want charismatic or strapping, so I guess so. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, can you have a quick look at the agent?
I just clicked on this, but
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
I try to have a quick look at the agent, see if there's anyone cheap I can hire.
No,
I
you can't.
Yeah, no, never mind. Okay, hang on. Ooh, actually, what's that 24/7 contract? I want to get a few more pennies coming in. And
Really? I'm sorry, I just want to click on that before it goes. Because don't forget, the tier 3s are going to be, they won't be respawning. You won't have an opportunity to do tier 3s.
I won't regardless, though. I won't get time, will I?
Why?
What time do they despawn? End of the shift?
Well, they're about to despawn. Look.
Oh, I see. No, that time is not really a very good representative, is it anymore, Sonny?
No, it still is. Pretty sure.
I
mean-
I rarely see them time out now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got 2 of them. They're gonna be gone forever, and they won't be replaced.
All right, I'm gonna continue down the dice roll that we went with Damien. Let's go for there was another tier 3 strength one, wasn't there? I'm sure there were multiple tier 3 strength one. Perceptive one that's tough enough. There you go. Let's go for that.
What do you want?
Oh yeah, Raven.
Gregarious to good reflexes. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk that tier 3. Have we got any tier 2s floating about?
No, we missed them all.
Could we possibly put Jan onto a 24/7 then? We got any nice?
We have strength.
Oh, so it doesn't actually say specifically what the game is. Interesting.
No,
Shows
this
off
is
later.
actually. I've updated after our discussion yesterday. I removed all the stat-based 24/7 contracts. This hasn't been updated for the last few days of
God,
the build.
okay.
So they won't be in there anymore. So to be more representative, we can find another one that is. Oh,
Cool thing.
all
Okay.
stat-based.
Never mind. Any tier 1s we can do? Any just regular tier 1s with Jan? She's only got 2, so she's not got much.
There is no puzzle game on the map.
No, because it's randomized. It's 3, and they just happen to be the wrong ones.
Yeah, that'll do. Strapping. She's strapping.
Okay, so we're sending. Okay. Oh. Dummy text or dummy text.
Strength.
Oh my God.
31.
Crazy, you got a 4 strength, and you still only have a 31% chance.
Yeah, what? Can you have critical gear? It says I've got 1, but I don't think I do.
Yes, that's strange.
So an 8.
Okay.
And you still
Noting it
have
down.
4 in straight, so that means one of the gear before is still active.
Yeah, because I've noticed
Yeah.
she's still got the 4 strength, so maybe that's why it says gear 1. It's still registering one of those cards as being on her.
She doesn't have a 4 strength. You're
No,
right.
She's got 3 and it's purple modified. So
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and can you add an action point to it?
Now?
Yeah, why not? Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it gonna add more danger? It's 31%. I need all the help I can get.
No, but this is the whole point. Exactly what Damien did. He didn't want to waste it because if you only get 1 roll now, there's no point in adding the action die, the action point.
I would accept that you're correct, only for the fact that what we said the other day of like when I said about your kids and D&D dice and how it's important. Like for me, I would add an action point and go, okay, I'm securing. I want to just throw everything I can at it, 50-50. That's me how I would play. I would accept the loss. So go for it.
Okay. Ooh, brutal. Brutal.
But yeah, from a technical standpoint, I know exactly what you mean. But from my standpoint, I like having all my dice laid out, roll them all at once. Oh no.
I hate this guy.
No. It's so nasal. It's such a good voice.
You're starting to slip. Mind your P's and Q's and try to take a firmer hand on managing your time and money. Try not to overspend, and you should be able to get through this financial hiccup.
Okay.
Got the P's. Okay.
Did not need that hit, but you know, she's I've got faith in Jan.
Wait. Sorry, I just clicked on this really quick. Business about to leave. But it's up to you. What do you want to do? Should I go to Jan and see what she's doing?
Hang on. Send over perceptive. One was smart. No, that's not for Draven. Just let that one cap out. It's a tier 1, so.
So Agent Johnson arrives at Miss Lincoln's fiance's apartment. They rap on the door. Lonnie, who has just got out of the shower, panics when they see Johnson begins to slam the door shut. Through the doorway, Johnson catches a glimpse of a red-headed woman sitting at the kitchen table crying. Should your agent proceed? De-escalate the situation, let Lonnie know you aren't a threat, or barge into the apartment? Obviously, something isn't right.
I mean, you've known me a number of years, Jez. You know exactly which way I'm going, so let's shoulder the door.
Attempts to force their way into Lonnie's apartment with brute force. Okay.
Okay, I'm 50-50. I'm happy. I'm about it. Let's let it roll.
Hey.
There you go.
And see, what for me, what sucks here is that it's red. Continue is red.
Oh, I can see the logic of what you're saying. Yeah, it feels like a negative.
Exactly. And it's great having the success in the next screen, but I almost want a little bit of fanfare, like sprinkles. Hey, but this is the moment. Boom, you have a success. But we don't have a visual, that dopamine feel, you know, like when you're like ba-ba-ba-ba, or something.
Yes.
We can also have that here as well.
But see, I do get what you're saying, but I feel if we had it for each and every contract, it would become less dopamine, more fucking irritating after 100 contracts. Imagine that old neon one we used to have.
Oh yeah, I love
Imagine
it.
that after 100 contracts, though.
Okay. So Agent Johnson succeeds in shouldering the door, much to the surprise of Lonnie. After Johnson calmly explains why they're there, he breathes a sigh of relief. Oh, isn't that romantic? Of course I love Margot. The engagement is still planned. They promised to send Agent Johnson an invitation. Okay. Hey, out of the hole too.
Out of the hole, back on the money. All right. Could we possibly have a quick look at the store and see if that's refreshed? 2 hours. Can you grab the? Let's go for a thumper.
Just that?
Yeah.
For Raven?
Actually, no. We'll go for the. Can we get the Bartolo? Yeah, we can get the Bartolo as well. No. Wrong one. Wrong character.
Okay.
See, I was invested there. I was panicked. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try doing a Damien. I'm gonna go for a big swing on a tier 3. Oh, we still got some up.
No, tier 3s are all
No,
gone.
tier 3's up. Okay.
Now this is the grind, and I think this is actually awesome. This is, you know, because basically that's what Damien always does. He risks, and you have to have the risk in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they're gone then. You know, now you need to really grind to get that money together.
Yeah.
I just clicked on something, so
Yeah. It's a tier 1. Go for it. I send Jan. She's got a
how come the text is not all the way to the right?
Yes. There's always a bug.
Can you start it with Jan?
Okay.
And then Raven. We got.
Raven's
so
done.
she's got a bunch of care. Get. Down. Kit. And we've just got tier 1s to grind out.
Yeah. Again, I just clicked on it because there's no pause.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
if you want to click somewhere else, let me know.
That's fine. Sorry, what's the other one? What's the report back stack? Oh, we got another moral.
So Agent Johnson goes to Charlie's apartment building and scopes it out. Eventually, he comes home and Johnson confronts him. After being initially standoffish, he lays out the situation as far as he can see it. According to his version of the story, she supposedly faked a pregnancy and her father forced Charlie to propose to her. When he found out she wasn't in fact pregnant, he couldn't believe it and his heart was broken. He wants nothing to do with her now. Oh my god.
Do you know what? I'm reporting back. I don't want none of this drama. This ain't me. Fuck that. I'm out.
Really? Okay.
I'm out. I'm not.
You've successfully completed it, you know? It's all dramatic for Agent Johnson. They quickly snap a Polaroid of themselves with Charlie as proof that he's alive and well. Charlie feels betrayed that he poured his heart out to you and your agent is simply going to report back. You are cruel!
Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that drama. Charlie can deal with it. Life is hard.
Well, you're out of the hole, too.
Exactly. I don't care about Charlie. I care about my agency.
But this is another interesting point. I'll just click on this really quick.
You're
what if we had
wasting
the
9 minutes!
Sorry, I thought I wanted to click somewhere. I'm somewhere. The option of spending money or reputation to unlock these things is also a viable thing. You know, because what happens if, you know, you're like, I don't care about the moral implications here because I want the money. That's all I want right now. Right? So that's something to consider. That you can actually, you have no reputation or intel anyways yet, so.
Yeah. We're at the point in this playthrough where there's not many choices to make. There's just grind it out, you know, because even the agents, you know, they'll pretty much all have a 50-50 chance. Just need to grind it out to get pennies.
I think you did. Oh, we're only down to one agent.
Yeah,
I think it's now actually Sunny's turn.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh god.
Yeah, I just clicked here again. If you want me to look at something else, let me know.
Just curious, to Sunny and Damien, when you get handed over from the person before, do you in your head go, what the fuck have they left me with? How am I meant to salvage this?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Listen, that tier 3 was a terrible idea.
That's I
The
thought
tier 3 is the weak bit.
after Damien's tier 3, and then Jezza went, oh, let's let Tom have a go now.
Okay, what's this one? So we've got Nimble or Observe an Agent. What would Nimble go to?
Reflex.
Because that...
Reflex.
Oh, of course, right, okay. What else do we have?
For you is that if you want to actually get out of this hole and not do the grind, is your goal to get another agent, or is your goal to try to get enough money to unlock tier 2 contracts?
Me personally, I wouldn't bother unlocking because the way I see it, we're at 2 p.m. When we reach nighttime, I think we just grind out like the 24/7s or... Right now, I don't think we're in a position to buy new contracts with our current money state.
True.
So you just grind it out for the rest of the shift.
Pretty much, yeah. Just for this day anyways. And then tomorrow morning, we get new contracts, right? So I reckon... do we have any other tier 1s on the map?
Oh yeah, bunch. With Watery Grave.
What's this one? Perceptive or Tough? Okay, I think this one. Let's just go for it.
Now, one thing that irks me a little bit is that just what you said, we're going to grind these out, but what are you getting out of it? A little bit of money. That's all you're really getting. You're not getting any reputation, and I also think that it could be a little bit of a missed opportunity. If we recalculate what reputation means, that, for tier 1, you get one reputation point, then you can slowly build it up. At least I'm getting reputation, not just money. That's something we can consider. I think we should really consider. Anyways, so dummy text or dummy text? So perception?
I think dummy text. Yeah, dummy text.
Strength or?
Yeah, strength. 50%. 5 action points. I like to play it safe.
Don't forget, you have
gear.
But wait, would you really use gear in a tier 1?
I honestly, at 50%, I probably would. It's either the action point or the gear. I don't like 50%. I hate that. I need it to be over 50%.
That's interesting because 50% is the marker where I'm happy to roll the die.
I know. I noticed you did that on your last turn.
How'd that work out for you, Tom?
I'm gonna use 1 gear. Sorry for whoever follows on after me. I'm gonna use 1.
I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter now. Yeah. You go for it.
But I suppose he's making a good choice because, well, if this roll fails and the game ends, then it doesn't matter that you've kept these gear cards, So there's something to be said for sitting on the gear for too long as well.
True, because you never know, and that's another thing we can consider as well. That can you star agents? Can you have can you bookmark them so when they're in the roster that you can always have them in the roster after cooldown, perhaps? You know what I mean? If you have your favorite agents that you're investing gear items in, for instance.
As it stands, as far as I'm aware, let's say we fall in love with Raven, we want to get her again. Even if we leave gear cards on her, they now come back through, don't they, in the shop?
Yeah, they will eventually. But it's not lost money, but it very well could be another day or two before she's available again.
And to be fair, the percentage of her coming in again will only go down as you progress as well. So
exactly.
But you have to bear in mind that ultimately she is a tier 1 agent, so she's simply not going to be suitable for the mid to late game anyway.
True. So I'm rolling.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh! I've actually
Is that the first time we've seen it?
I've never seen all successes. Have you? With this many dice?
Not with this many, no.
But this actually is a critical success. Right? And this is exactly what Damien is talking about. If you get a critical success, right, you press continue, then you have 3 cards and you get to choose, and this is a huge game changer for me. If you can choose what bonus you're going to be getting, whether it's going to be a financial bump, a reputation bump, or a free gear item bump.
Yes, and I was thinking about that because in our first idea it was, it's random. You don't see, you only see the back of the cards, and you choose one and you see what you get. But maybe that can be interesting to have a choice here, especially when I see is this situation. Do I want an action point or money? That can be good to have the choice and not a randomized reward.
What about this? For tier 1, for an exceptional resolution, tier 1, there are only 2 options, right? In tier 2, there are 3 options. In tier 4, there are 4 options. And then we can also talk about how that is displayed to the player. Maybe a tier 1, we actually show you what's on the back side and on the front side of the cards. But tier 2, you don't see that option, or tier 3.
I don't know. It's critical success are very exceptional, so I don't think we need to change
Overthink it
too much. Yeah.
Woohoo! So, before I finish, you're still up, Sonny. What do you want to do?
114. Is that? It's not been added yet, has it?
Like 205.
I think let's look at the shop. Maybe it might be worth.
Okay.
I don't know. 200 is. Oh no, I meant the agent shop. Sorry. The hireable agents.
Sheryl's pretty pricey.
Yeah,
You
see,
can
Janet's back in the rotation already.
Oh, you're right.
That again, that's because we're using that smaller sample size, but still.
Right.
Okay, they're a lot pricier than I expected. I genuinely don't know what I'd do other than just grind out contracts, whatever tier 1s that we have left actually. Because how much stamina points do we have on Janet?
5, I think. Or no, Raven is 5.
Oh, sorry, Raven.
No, but Janet she'll start again with 6.
She's not that good though. Oh no, she does have strength. Okay.
But so it is. I mean, you're only focusing on strength contracts then, because Raven also has strength.
Yeah. Let's see what other contracts there are. Other than strength.
Bronze is also strength and reflexes.
I'm starting
Okay.
to think maybe we need to have a quick evaluation on tier 1s, Jez. Have we got too many strength ones, or is it just RNG that we're getting hit with here?
He's RNG. I
Okay.
think I think what I did quite often is actually I went through everything. It was like strength, intelligence, reflex, empathy. Strength, intelligence, reflex, empathy. Yeah. And perception, of course.
So this one's reflexes and perception.
Yep.
Which one am I missing?
Wow, this background looks awesome.
Ooh, intelligence. Strength.
I think we need an agent with reflexes or.
Oh, don't forget you got the 24/7s as well. Oh, that's strength, reflexes, and bypass, which we haven't
I think
done.
they're all kind of far away for now. So I reckon if we do a contract and then.
That's such an interesting thing as well that Sonny just said. Because look, you're basically going, if you go do bypass, which will take you 20 seconds, you can have $50. But because it's now got that cost on it, it becomes not worth it. But if he was at that security contract just down the road, then you might go, yeah, shit, I'll go get that $50.
Oh my god, it costs you 3 to get there. To do bypass, it costs you 3.
Exactly.
No, the thing is, I am presuming that when we get to that security location, it doesn't take us back across all the way across the map, you know?
No, the agent will stay, so you could then go from that contract to bypass just to get the extra payday.
Ooh.
Planification.
Yeah. Oh.
They're about to run out. Yeah, just. Oh god, please. If that's a strength, then we can just send this one.
Nimble or
It's
observant?
not. Oh god. Do you reckon you can quickly buy? Never mind, it's gone.
I can. They're all about to expire though.
I think it just disappeared. But,
This is Brawny.
yeah, send it.
Is it Bronny?
Yeah.
While we wait.
This is so annoying. The comma up there. We can get rid of that though, right?
Oh yeah. Because I think
Do
before
you guys
it was.
ever
in the data,
change
for example.
the angle when you're playing?
Oh, I swing the camera around frequently.
So intelligence or strength. So You're only obviously going to be doing strength. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Again, 88. Is it enough for you?
It's easy. That should be fine. I hope. Of course it's not fine. It's never fine.
Wait, did you just get all successes for the last one and then all failures for this one?
Yeah, that's exactly what just happened.
I mean, for me, I think the game is balanced in that regard. Then you know what I mean? It's like kind of a crapshoot.
See, that's
And
the
you
thing.
have the
Notice
action point.
I was going to say, today we've seen incredible odds fail and then shitty odds win. It's yeah, I mean, you could still win with. I don't like that, I should add. I do not like this at all. I think if all three of your dice fail, you shouldn't be able to just do an AP and turn it into a success. But I also don't know how to. I don't know how to sort of. Fix
Am I doing it?
Do you see what I mean?
Not with an action point. I would say with the gear, maybe.
Well,
Or is that
make
too
you
much?
reroll.
And gear, you can use the gear
Yeah.
after also? I didn't know that.
Ah.
Okay.
This is probably. There we go.
My God! Wow!
Turned it around.
Cool. I wouldn't even thought about that.
Blame Sonny. He codes all these things in just so we don't know, so he can beat us at the game. That's all it is. No, that's cool.
Are we close to that? We've got quite a bit of money.
Wait, oh wait,
I
here's
reckon.
You know, considering we're still on this first day, we're a couple of $100 up now. That's
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm happy that we're not completely in the hole, and also that we don't have like $8,000. You know what I mean?
yeah. And to be fair, that's with three very different people playing in very different play styles.
Yeah. And we start the game with
250.
250. Okay, so I think that can be good to have more at the end of the day.
Maybe.
I'm torn. If it's still my go, I'm still torn. So I think I'm gonna pass it over to Damien.
Okay. Damien, what do you want to do? We don't have to do this one. I just clicked here.
Yes, it's one action point. Yes, send Raven on this one.
Okay. It's a tier 1. She only has 2 reflexes.
Yes, but I believe
Okay. You know, I hate to say it, but I think we really should you get 1 reputation point for successfully completing a tier 1 contract. Because look, you need to have some other form of progress shown besides money. Like at least you can be like, oh shit, I don't have any money, but at least I have reputation. You know what I mean? So you need to have some palpable view of success.
What she's doing.
This is one of those ones where you had to pick something up, and then.
Oh, okay.
I think my fear is though that there's not going to be enough dread. If that makes sense, like this playthrough has been fun because of how close we've come to destroying ourselves. You see what I mean? I feel if you then go ahead and go, oh, even if you whatever happens, you'll have reputation. Then we could have got ourselves out of that hole several times. Would that have been as fun?
Well, no. If you say that you need to spend 10 reputation in order to unlock more contracts, it comes down to the value. And of course you only would get it if you successfully complete a contract. It can be just 1 point for regardless of contract tier. Anyway, so go ahead.
I was saying, do we not currently have it set so that if you make the moral decision on a moral contract, you get reputation?
You get intel, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure we set something as the good boy reward. I'm just trying to think, 'cause otherwise that could be a way to generate reputation. Is do moral contracts. Admittedly, you wouldn't know your moral contract.
And don't forget, Jezza, that for reputation, maybe with informant, that will be only with informant. So
Okay. Yeah.
if you do the contract from the informant, you always gain some reputation, even if you fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. So it's Damien's turn right now, right?
Yeah.
So follow the mail or.
I choose up for reflexes, so yes, let's go for follow the mail. You can.
Ooh.
That's shit. Okay, roll. Just roll. No. Bam!
Boom.
Very nice.
Wow. After Agent Draven has tailed the mail truck for a while, the driver stops at a depot. Draven swipes a few letters from the back. Sure enough, these are the same fraudulent coupons for the mall. But by the time the client is notified, the premise has been emptied and the crooks have moved on. At least in the short term, only genuine discounts will now be had at the mall. So, $107. Ooh. Okay. So what are we gonna do? Damien, you're still up?
Oh, it's a night. We just have 24/7 contract now. Oh no, there was still a tier 1 contract.
There's a couple of them.
Okay. Oh, the other one it's closer to Raven, I think. No, because that will cost 2 action points. 1 action point. Okay.
There's all this text space.
Yes,
It's like it's getting
write it
smaller
on
and
my
smaller.
notebook. I will adjust that. There is a problem.
We doing this one?
Inquiry mine or was not try to get hands.
I need the text, change the text here because this was written as a with a puzzle in mind.
Yeah, security system. Yeah. So you change it with.
So your guess is as good as mine. Whichever. I need to change the text.
Okay, start the contract. We will see.
So you got $322. What is your short-term goal, Damien? Or what is Tom's goal then? Does he want to buy tier new contracts or a new agent or gear? That's the big question, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. For now, I think it's just to get enough money to hire a new agent and to buy some new contract also. Because if we don't have enough money, we can't play anymore.
I'm so happy that we're changing that. Buying contracts, it's not fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a grindy way of doing it, sure, but I think this new elegant solution of accepting objectives or tasks. What do we call them now?
Objectives, yeah, from
informants. Yeah.
So my question, bearing in mind, we've now almost completed what is the first day. How do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think that's an okay? Like, obviously you've got to add tutorials and this first operationally, but in terms of how it's playing, how it's flowing, how are you guys feeling? Do you think there's anything that needs to change drastically? Because everyone's quite quiet.
I think it's kind of empty right now. I think it was like after 2 p.m. ish, it became very empty in terms of like contracts. Yeah.
It became. That's what I'm sort of feeling the same. It became less of a. I've got all these things. What's the best choice out of this plethora, and what's the least bad choice? Sort of came later on, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
Right.
But yeah, I was thinking the same. So when you get to that latter half of the day, you shouldn't be going. You shouldn't be going, oh, what can I do, rather than what could I do? I don't. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to the fact that they all disappear at 2 p.m. You know, because we set them up for 8 hours, being available for 8 hours, the tier 2 and tier 3 contracts. So you're right, it is boring at 2. So either we change that back, and we also had them respawn as well.
I mean, would it be worth going through the tier 2s and adding a bit of variance? I know it might not sound, but for example, so you said 8 hours, so add a couple that are 9, a couple that are 10. You see what I mean? So it's not just such a binary emptying of the board.
Something can be 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Just basically shake up those numbers so that it's not such a binary. 2 p.m. rolls about and it just wipe it down.
Well, no, wait, that wouldn't make any sense. It doesn't. I mean, that wouldn't change anything because the rule is that once you don't do them, no new contracts spawn for tier 2 and tier 3. That's how it's been designed so far. Regardless of whether we change that column that has the, how long it's available on the board, it wouldn't change anything.
It wouldn't change their respawning, but it would give the players substantially more time to get around their day and then let them to approach those tier 2s without them going to waste. So if you're like, oh shit, that one fell off at 2, but this one's got another couple of hours, so if I just do this tier 1, then I can get to it.
All right, we can change them all to 24 hours. I mean, why not? Then take the pressure off, I suppose. We can try that.
I don't think the pressure was a bad thing.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think we need to go the other way and have it all 24 hours. We just need to find that sweet spot. So let's tinker around a little bit. I'll add it to my list and I'll go in and yeah.
So this is wrong. It says puzzle, but I'm assure you it's probably more than likely not a puzzle.
Okay, check.
Well, if I click on it, then
It's a roll. Okay. It's
perception. Okay.
yes, but it's one success, and we have 50% of success. It's totally doable. I believe in you, Raven.
So you guys super lucky because the other one, oh no, this is because the other one would have been a 2.
Yes, and we have more than 50%. Yeah, great. Because we have still one action point we can use for that. So
Hey, wow, $420. Now,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. She only has one action point left.
Yeah, you might as well burn it on that.
No, but what happens if we try to send her to one that requires more than one action point?
It won't let you, I presume.
Oh.
For some reason, Sonny, that really tickled me. That the guy who coded it just ended his sentence with the words, "I presume." It's like, let's find out.
I mean, you can never be too sure.
Tom, can you make a ticket for this one? We need to change this text because it's health or stamina. It should be just action points.
but consider sending him home to rest. That can be interesting, because when one action point left and there is no contract around, you can't pay anymore with this agent, and the agent takes the slot, and he stuck you. I think we need to add something when one action point left. You can, yes, maybe I don't know.
What if you can send them home, and then next time they come back, if she had 12 action points and she has 13 action points next time. So you can save that action point and top it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we need a brainstorming session for that.
So what are we doing here? We got $420. Is
Yeah,
it?
use the 47 contract here. Yeah, I think it's a good choice for the last action point.
Oh. Boom. $50. Okay, so she's going, and right now she should be like, oh, end of shift. So I think it's Tom's turn now. What do you do, Tom?
470. Let's have. Oh, okay. Well, let's get some more agency. Shock me. I'm not going to pick Shirley because she's a tester. She's got a ridiculous amount of stuff.
Well, she's also super expensive too.
Oh yeah, we can afford her, but look at her how many action points she's got.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah.
She was put into like the test, and we
Ah,
found
ooh.
out that it was mad.
This sucks. Only 4. He only got 4 action points. What's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
pointless now?
Yeah, but look at his stats though. He's pretty solid. But to be fair, he's again. I went through the tier 1s yesterday. It just hasn't been updated.
Right. Okay.
So these are all now updated. Let's go Ray.
Yeah, she's like a good bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's solid.
Give me 1 minute, guys. I come back in 1 minute.
Okay.
Can we get Sherlock as well?
What was the other one? Weenie Party and then Sausage Security.
What was Jezza thinking when he was writing these contracts? What was he watching?
Hanging out with a 7-year-old, basically. All right. I just clicked on it to click on something. If you want me to look at something else, let me know.
Okay, can we pick expand them so we know the panel? The
Oh,
agent?
wait, sorry. This is actually brilliant that you can actually look at both of them and to compare them.
Mhm.
But what happens if I've got more? Then does the scrolling bar then pop it up?
Oh
I don't think we have a. No, we don't. I don't think we have a scrolling bar right now.
I don't know.
So it would just go off screen.
Hmm.
But yeah, we will in the future. I think Damien's currently. That's on Damien's list.
I do need to go in like 15 minutes to go pick up my kids. Anyway, so we could kind of not wrap this up, but it would be great if we actually could save our game, right? That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, next time next time we decide to do this, what we do is simple. We start a game. Look at where we are, 260. So we start a game, give ourselves hit the reputation button once, we've got that, and then just start from level 2. Do you see what I mean? Do a tier 2 playthrough. If you see what I mean.
Oh yeah. I do. If you can, I was gonna say I do want to experiment with reputation, because it sucks that you got these empty things right now. You know what I mean? You've got empty reputation or empty intel, and you need to have some other signs of progress besides just the financial gain. Even if the reputation usage isn't implemented 100% across the board for everything, but I think whether it's just one reputation point for each contract you do, regardless of tier, that would be interesting, because then we can actually see how many successful contracts we've done within a certain allocated time.
Yeah.
But I think it makes more sense to do 1, 2, 3.
My trepidation is simply yesterday we pretty much cut out intel.
Yeah.
And now we're not trying to cut reputation, but I'm just trying to. Do you know what I mean? I'm like we're making quite sort of sweeping cuts before we fully see the impact. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't fully seen the impact of removing intel. There's bound to be things that we haven't considered. And so I just want to be a little bit coy before we put more onus on reputation. Because you saw yesterday on the Miro, it's already got a list of things compared to intel. Do we really want to add more that rep does?
Well, no, it does not more. But I mean, it was always that way. Reputation, you would get reputation points for contracts.
Oh no, but just to play devil's advocate, since we've removed intel, for example, and this is entirely stupid, ignore the wording, but why not put in, as opposed to intel, exactly what you're saying, contract points, where for every successful contract you get a contract point, and then you use those specifically to upgrade your contracts or something. Do you see what I mean? I'm just saying, why put it all on reputation?
Okay.
Reputation already has 6 or so things that it's tied into, in terms of going up and down. And I'm not sure if we need another thing for rep or repurpose intel into that.
Sure.
What do you think, Damien?
He's gone.
No, he's here.
Yes, that can work. We can test.
My concern is putting too much on rep. Just to be clear, that's my point. I'm fine with playing around, experimenting, but I've just got the list up here. So right now, reputation unlocks agent slots, unlocks shop tiers, refreshes the agent pool, unlocks agent tiers. That's a lot of things. And if we're now going to put reputation on have reputation be responsible for sort of a slow uptick in progress as well, why not put that to a separate currency? On the one hand, you could go, why? Completely pointless. But on the other hand, I know it's not specifically a management game, but again, it's more resources to juggle.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Which feels to me kind of what we want to hit. It doesn't have to be hugely impactful. It just has to be a simple thing. Exactly like Jez said, for each successful contract, you gain +1. Simple. And that means if you are forced to do the tier 1 grind, you're only forced to do it for X period of time before you can force that refresh of new contracts using those contract points or whatever the fuck you call them. Do you see what I mean? I just think it's a better idea than putting more onus on reputation.
Something to think about. And it actually wouldn't really change too much for Sunny, because we're just changing the name, in the UI. All right, so with like 5 more minutes, you're up, Tom. What do you want to do? Can we get to 500 in 10 minutes?
Oh, easy. If you push keypad 9.
Yeah.
Right, go on. We're gonna go. Let's go to the gear shop. We're gonna have to hit some tier 3s if we're gonna.
Yeah. How are we gonna get to tier 3?
Oh, good point. We haven't got any tier 3 contracts.
I mean, you can get tier 3 contracts.
Oh.
Oh, wait, what?
Why can't we?
It's past 9 o'clock. You can't buy contracts.
Oh.
Okay.
You gotta wait anyways.
So in that case, to get beyond above 500, there's nothing I could do but grind out what's on the screen. which is that 24/7 contract.
No.
So I can generate $100. There you go. I want to do bypass.
You want me to do bypass? Great.
It's the easiest game there is.
Okay.
And you might as well send Sherlock to the other one. Interestingly, did you play at normal speed because we were recording it and things like that, or would you play at normal speed on your own?
I play normal speed on my own. I mean, I think the only time I ever speed it up is if I've already made all the decisions and it's just travel time. Okay. Right?
How about you, Damien? Do you ever speed up?
No, always play normal time.
Sonny?
Same here. Unless if all of them are traveling, yeah.
Genuinely still sad that we never got to make this game into what it could have been.
We can always do that.
Oh, no. Like, I don't mean it in that, like, I'm not like, oh, we would. But, you know, should I get the opportunity, I'd love to go back and do that one properly. Because it was meant to represent, like, a circuit board. It was meant to be bypassing connections on the board. It was such a cool idea. But people didn't really get the concept of a breadboard, that a breadboard is just a copper track. Do you know what I mean? So it never really, you need to show, like, a little Raspberry Pi or something. You need to make it clear what the player's seeing.
Yes, and that can be good to have a more complex one than 3 and 3.
All right, the game's over with, more or less. We have to wait it out, which is stupid, you know? But this is about the planification.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think of it, though, I would make a strong case for the fact that this is fine. I mean, there's 2 hours left in the day, and if you think of it, we took on multiple tier 3 contracts, which we completely fucked up, wasting money from the penalty on that, wasting money from the items we bought. We're still closing the day up $110 and with a couple of agents. That's not bad for the first day, considering how incredibly we fucked the gameplay, if you see what I mean. Like, considering the amount of failures we had, even on some of those easy contracts we were getting failures, I think we've done fine. If this is the worst that happens, after that
we've only had the answering machine trigger once.
We dipped to -5